What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here, where the numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not. And the long-awaited, well, not really that long-awaited because we just pulled this champion the other day, but I said I would make a video discussing and going over this champion, guys, and I'm really excited to showcase it today for you guys. I am talking about, of course, let me just scroll through all of my champions. This man, Caldor, or it's like his full name is Bladechorister Caldor. That's a little bit of a mouthful. This champion is insane. He is the newest faction leaders, faction guardians. Faction leaders, whatever. I always get it wrong. I'm not even gonna try. So he is one of the new. I actually pulled him. If you guys have not seen my last video, you're missing out. Make sure to subscribe, watch this video, then watch that video. Anyways, I'm really excited that I got this guy. I have a bunch of Salvin watchers. Salvin watchers? Man, this is just crazy. Me just mispronouncing everything. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit about this guy, why I like him so much, go over his kit, the build that I put him in, areas of the game that I think he will excel in, and show you guys some battles, some play tests, and we'll go right into it. Alrighty, guys, going over his abilities. His A1 attacks all enemies, has a 15% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Will ignore 20% of the target's resist for each continuous heal buff on this champion. Remember the continuous heal, by the way, guys. It will become a theme with this champion. His A2. If the target, oh my God. If the target is an enemy, decrease the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 1 turn. Place a 5% poison debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Then an additional 5% poison for 2 turns for each continuous heal buff on this champion. These debuffs cannot be resisted, and they instantly activate all poison debuffs on all champions. Now, so this skill, you can actually choose either the enemy or yourself here. So there's this ability. His A2 has different uses. So the second part of his A2, if the target is an ally, so if he targets himself basically, increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 and instantly activates all continuous heal buffs on all allies, sorry. Place a perfect veil buff on this champion for 2 turns. Also place a 50% continuous buff on this champion for 2 turns. And another 15% debuff for each ally alive for 2 turns. Finally, put this champion's turn meter up. Finally, fill this champion's turn meter by 15% for each buff or debuff placed by this skill. Mouthful. Like I said, 2 parts, and I'll go over when to use the poison and when to use it on yourself. Most of the time, you're going to be dumping his A2 on himself, unless you're doing Chimera. You're really not utilizing this on enemies. But you know, again, you really use it for Chimera is the only area they use it for, and arena. Moving over to his A3, guys. Attacking one enemy before attacking has a 100% chance of removing all buffs from that target and places a 60% decreased defense buff and a 25% weakened debuff on all targets for 2 turns. Will ignore 20% of the target's resist for each continuous heal buff on this champion. And then obviously, he's the Unity champion, removes all buffs if he has, you know, 3 different Selvin Watchers on his team. Remove all buffs from all enemies if the target is killed. So if you kill somebody, it strips all buffs. Will ignore 5% of the target's defense for each poison debuff on them and each continuous continuous heal buff on this champion. If the initial target is under a poison debuff, also attacks all other enemies. The damage dealt is proportional to the initial target's max HP and how many poison debuffs are on them. If the initial target is a boss or a minion, the damage dealt is equal to 10% of their max HP, which is kind of sad. I wish that this was just kind of like a full HP nuke. But I mean, 10% you still hit very, very hard. And now this is the fun part. His passive will ignore 50% of the target's defense when attacking while under a perfect veil or veil buff. This champion receives 30% less damage from enemies when not under a veil or a perfect veil buff. And then if he has a bunch, you know, if there's a bunch of his factions allies are here, each continuous heal buff on this champion increases his crit rate, or I guess their crit, everybody, it increases everybody's crit rate by 20%. Each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion, also fill their turn meters by 8%. Each time a continuous heal buff activates on this champion or an ally, increase this champion's damage by 5%, and it can stack up to 150%. And then obviously his aura, increase ally crit rate in all battles by 25%, and then 15% speed if they're Sylvan Watchers. This champion might be one of, I know that I'm going to, I just watched Nub's video about him ranking all the Unity leaders. I think that this champion is almost as good as Teox. I think that Teox is the best. I think that he's the best, but I think that this guy is a close second. I think he's a close second. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I have him, and I have a couple other of the Unity leaders, but you know, I really don't enjoy them as much as I do with Teox. You know, Teox is my bread and butter. He's one of my favorite characters. Anyways, as you guys can see here, do not have him fully booked. Big sad. Like this not being on a 3-turn cooldown, very annoying. Very annoying, but that's okay. I mean, you still do insane damage. You don't necessarily need it. You know, it's obviously just more damage that you're doing overall. All right, guys, going over to the build. So he is an attack-based champion, as we just read all of his skills. But this is why this champion is so unique, and I love him so much. If he is your faction leader and you are putting him on a team that is putting a ton of debuffs, you actually do not need to give him that much crit rate. I think if I calculated it correctly, it's 25. So you don't need, you can reduce it by 25 so that he's 75% crit. Then every continuous heal, and he puts 2 continuous heals on him all the time, which gives him an additional 20. I think it's 20%. So it's up to 40%. Sorry, I just had to refresh myself here. So his abilities are putting 2 continuous heals down, which gives him 40% crit, and then his aura gives him an additional 25%. You can build him with 35% crit rate, which is insane that you could just dump. And so like I obviously, you know, I wasn't able to get him that low because this is how some of my gear is. But you don't have to worry about building crit rate almost at all on this champion. This champion is very, and I'm gonna say this in quotes, Thor-like. The longer the battle goes on, the more damage you get because of that A3. It can stack up to 150%, guys. It takes a little, you know, it takes, you know, some moving and grooving, but it does hit unbelievably hard. Unbelievably hard. I actually do not have him in high accuracy. The areas of the game that I was testing him out, they didn't need it. And I'm not 100% sure, guys. So if you have this champion, please, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, which I might be wrong. But his A3 does not need accuracy. You do not need accuracy to land this. So if you are fighting somebody with one, you know, a 4-piece stone skin, you could strip that buff away with this one ability, which is, you know, which is amazing. It's amazing. You don't need accuracy. You actually, the only reason I have the accuracy is to land this weaken and defense down. I did put him in lethal because lethal is I mean, obviously it's one of my favorite pieces of gear, but you know, I would love for him to be in merciless. Merciless would be so good, but I couldn't get him in of like a full merciless set. I don't have the greatest merciless gear, but like 7,000 attack, I think is pretty impressive. Like I'm really impressed with that. And normally, I think this guy actually might be my strongest hitting champion that I own next to my, let me see, actually real quick. Where is here he is. So my ethos has Yeah, he actually is. So my ethos is now my second weakest, my second strongest, sorry. My second strongest nuker on my team. That is crazy. That is crazy. Now, obviously, I don't have the greatest of, oh God, I gotta find him again. I don't have the greatest of blessings, guys. I mean, not blessings, relics. I ended up putting him under Scroll of the Unseen. Is it the greatest? No. Like, I would have rather him be under, him have this here. I only have two, and and I didn't want to have to like rip it off somebody and then put it on him. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't necessarily matter what you know. I don't. Again, relics are obviously overpowered, and they're a huge power creep in the game. But again, this is the best that I could do with what I have. Like I said, I mean, I don't really have a lot of good relics, unfortunately. But I digress. So I went ahead, guys, put him in. Aim for Helm Smasher. Give him more of that sweet succulent stat boosts. But he is, again, like I said, aimed to absolutely eviscerate the people that he is going against. And let me tell you guys, I'm very so you guys have probably seen, or if you haven't seen, I've done a couple different champion guide videos. I've done Khalif, I've done Diamant. And honestly, I wasn't so impressed with those champions, but this guy, I was so enthusiastic to get him. Like, he is, I for my account, like I could also like play around with this and like speed up some of his other stuff, but I think for, like I said, the test for this video, it didn't really matter. Now, there are 3 areas of the game. Obviously, there's 3 areas of the game: PvE and well, I guess that's technically 2: PvE and PvP, right? The first at PvP. Can you use him in PvP? The answer is yes. I view him very in a similar way to Rhodos. You want to put him in a team that has a lot of control. So I'll fight this person right here, which I've died to a lot, but that's fine. This is mainly just to showcase like teams that are good. Actually, I also was messing around with like a blender team because Arbitus attacks everybody, and obviously so does he. Let me go ahead and jump into another team. I really want to see a team with Stone Skin. You know what, dude? I'm assuming that this team's gonna have Stone Skin because they have a Hef-Rack. Ready? Let's see. Wow, they do not. Okay, well, that's fine. I can show you basically how absolutely disgusting this champion really is in like the damage department. Now watch this. So we're going to speed everybody up. We are going to go ahead and drop your A2 on yourself. Puts a ton of continuous heals down, which is obviously what we're trying to do. The more continuous heals he has on him, the more damage he is going to do. And I do want to kill her before. Perfect. And now let's watch how much damage. Watch how much damage this does to this mythical over here. You're gonna put the 320,000 damage. Now that's a lot of damage. Now, obviously, you know, with a champion like this, he hits unbelievably hard because what happens with his A3 is his A3 will go ahead and strip buffs and then hit. Like, absolutely such an insanely strong champion. Let me see if I can find. This team's going to be really annoying. Let's go ahead and try. This is insane. Okay, this is going to resist. Okay, it's literally because I'm recording. Like, there's no other explanation. So we're going to start buffing up our guy. Everybody's taking a nap. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to kill this disgusting, vile champion. All right, let's see. So we are strong hitting him. So what's going to happen is we're going to put when we do our A3, it's going to put a defense down and a weaken. So you're just going to hit that much harder. Wow. So that did 275,000 damage, but he just resists. Like, he's just such a disgusting. But 275,000 like damage with that one A3. So like an unbelievably hard hitting ability. And I'm actually really glad that I hit him and he actually technically didn't die, but we all saw how much damage, it was a lot of damage that he did. Then yeet, attack everybody and they're all dead. Awesome. So he hits like a tank, like a truck. Let's go ahead and let's do one more live arena battle. Oh, this is going to be, I think, a pretty good team. Let's go ahead and hit this team. Now, obviously, you don't have to use, you know, Arbus. Not everybody obviously has Arbus. I'm definitely going to sheep him. That's annoying. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try. Okay. You know what I probably should have done now? I just realized it. Damn, I actually probably should have done my A2 on their team. But I honestly, I think that's okay. Okay, so what we're going to do? We're going to aim for the ultimate death knight here. We strip the buff. Boom. One shot. And one more time. One shot. The ultimate death knight, 200,000 damage. And it just ripped that buff off him. What I do want to try, which we'll see if I'm gonna, that's kind of annoying. We're gonna have to carve through. Oh, actually, no, we don't. So this is what we're gonna do. So I have to wait a couple turns. Yeet. God, he does so much damage. I'm a little bit afraid. This guy right here, I don't want him to. Okay. We're gonna sleep you. Okay. All right. We love sheep in this game, guys. We love sheep. All right, guys. This should be pretty good. We're gonna go. Well, I have to. Okay. Well, I have to one-shot this guy again. 150,000 damage. It's also because we didn't have a lot of HP, continuous HP down on us. Not a big deal, obviously. And then we just go again, and we just go again, and we just go again. Eat. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do this and add a ton of continuous heals down. I'm actually gonna go ahead and sleep the monkey over here. We're gonna wait. So one more turn, we have to wait. We have one more turn, and then he is. Well, I mean, he's about to get obliterated anyway. So I guess it's over. So like, if you can control the game, like he will cut through a ton of tanks, a ton of tanky teams. He's really, really strong. Like, again, like I said, obviously I'm using Arbutus, right? Like, is that realistic for everybody? Of course not. My Arbutus is, you know, look at her, look at mwah, you know, just a little bit of a chef kiss, right? But you don't have to just use her. Like, you can use any of the Skelvin Watchers. Sorry. For example, look, do this, and we go down to a faction. Go to faction, and then we go to this, and then we do this. So what you could do is you have an Elva. You can use Elva, Podrag. Podrag is great because when he does his ally attack, he puts a bunch of continuous heals down. You could also use, where is she? She's great for just damage. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I'm in a copious amount of pain. This champion, because I'm a whale, she sucks, but you could use her. I mean, if you're also a whale, you know, this champion right here, King Galcarbra, whatever his name is. I hate this champion, but you could use him if you really want. Do I not have a white? I don't have, wait, hold on. Everybody, hold on. I don't have her. Wow. I thought I did. I thought I had a bunch of her. Hold on one second, everybody. Everybody calm down. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh my, it's White Dryad. Where is White Dryad? Okay. You could also use White Dryad also. She's pretty cool. Instead, you know, there's a bunch of different champions that you can use. They're really just kind of there just to like to increase the damage. Oh, look at it. Who is this? This person looks sick. Oh, she must be one of the new chat. I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, guys. Anyways. So is he viable for arena? Absolutely. He slaps unbelievably hard. But what I actually ended up doing as well, guys, is I went ahead and tested two different areas of the game. I wanted to see how good this champion could do in Chimera, and this is my the team that I ended up coming up with for Chimera. Now, the ultimate goal for me to test was to see how many trials I could do. Can this champion even do Brutal, right? And let me go ahead. I'm going to supplement this with a screenshot because I'm not going to subject you guys to like a full gameplay of me doing this, but we ended up doing 66 million damage, so not as much damage as I was aiming, I was hoping for. But guys, we were able to complete 14 trials, doing 14 trials, and honestly, we could have gotten another 2 trials. I just messed up, honestly. I messed up, and I'm actually pretty impressed with how much damage he was doing. The problem was my Caldor. Oh my god, Cardo is he's kind of too squishy for Brutal, so he would die a lot, and because of that, I was chasing like revives with Elva with him. Does that mean, so like, could I like change him, you build him a little bit better? Yeah, I think I could. I think I could definitely have done probably a little bit better of a job, but I'm still like, again, this is just a test that I did. Obviously, this is not a full auto team. Like, I did the team. I hand did it. You don't have to. You can do it. You can set it up in the not in the optimizer, in the game here, guys. Let me go ahead and show you, bring it back here. I have everything with Arbitus. You want to obviously you want her to do the increase, then metamorphosis, and then she just does not move for the rest of the game because her A3 puts down a bunch of continuous heals. Padre, like I said, you just want to make sure that for the ram head that you're not just killing yourself attacking it. Lydia just does Lydia things, and then so there's a couple different ways that you can set up your tuning for him, right? One way would be to start with this move right here, right? His A3, started with his A3, and then using his A2 second. Now, I know that sounds a little bit counterproductive, right? Like, you want those continuous HP, like those continuous heals down, but so many other champions in this team right here are giving him a continuous heals that he doesn't really need it off the start. And if you start with your A3 first, and then you go to your A2, you're actually basically giving yourself an extra turn, a cooldown, because this gives you basically a full turn with all the stuff that is going on him. So you're basically actually using this instead of it being for me a 4 turn, it's actually technically like a 3 turn. Now, again, like I said, there is this is not a full auto team, which is fine. I mean, you can full auto it, you just won't get as many trials. You just won't be able to get as many trials. What I found, which was really interesting, I was able to, like, about not even halfway through the first 25 rounds, right? I would even say past that, the first 30 rounds, until you get past the Viper head. You get so many trials done. You get so many trials done by attacking the ram head. So you get so many trials done throughout this run very, very early. I had I think like either 6 or 7 trials already completed before the first 30 rounds, which is, I assume that's after you do the full first rotation through that, because obviously, like, you could do this right here with Arbitus. The big thing is also with and why you need Lydia for this team is, I think it is oh yes, right here. It is Viper. Damage the Chimera with poison debuffs while it's also under a poison sensitivity debuff. So you're actually able to complete all of these trials right here. Unbelievably easy. Unbelievably easy. And you know, like that's a legendary like component right there. So you're actually able to complete a lot of these trials very easily, and the higher end trials, right? Now, I think if I get, like I said, I'm a broken record. If I built him a little bit better, he would do more damage. Is he comparable to like a ninja and a Lady Mikage? No, I think that those teams are a lot easier. But if you don't have a ninja, and like let's just say you just pulled this guy right now, you know, and you have some other Sylvan Watchers, like you can make a team very easily with this. Like you can really design a crazy team and be able to pump out a ton of damage. But you know, do I think that he's like the best for Chimera? No, but I think that he's okay. I would say that he's probably like a 7 out of 10, bordering a 6 out of 10, bordering. Where I think this a beautiful lad really holds out strong is in Hydra. Now, this Hydra team that I put together, obviously it's a little bit wonky, and I say wonky by like it's crazy, right? Teox and this guy, but the reason that I put Teox in this team and I really wanted to experiment with this was I wanted to have the ability for Teox's A1 to have Caldor an auto attack go off, because his auto attack goes off and does his auto attack goes off and does an unbelievable amount of damage because it hits everybody. So Teox has the ability to basically, I'll show you right here, to bring somebody into the fight, your strongest person. Actually, I'm going to just show you a little bit of this run here, guys, just so you can see the damage is insane. Like the damage is insane. At a certain point within this this Hydra run that I was running for hard, I was able to do with my A3, I was able to do almost 3 million damage for a decapitated head. For one of these alive heads, I'll show you guys. Well, I need to do this twice so he can start stacking. You know what? Yeah, ready? So watch this. So we're gonna hit this head. We're gonna do like probably like 600,000 or 700,000 damage. 800,000 damage. 800,000 damage. Actually, he almost just one shot. Did you see how much? He almost just one shot that Hydra head. All right, and we're gonna speed each other up. But like I said, I really want to show you guys. Obviously, it takes a while to get his stacks all the way ramped up, but he does just, like I said, just so much damage. We're going to, yep, I'm gonna do this. My turn meter's at 100, basically at 100% already, which is just insane. And the grape tea, look, I already gotta go again. Yeet. 500,000 damage to the decapitated head and like 200,000 to like the rest of them, which is just wild. And he's always under basically a perfect veil. So killing the head of Torment isn't that big of a challenge for him. Now I really look at that. Oh, it's just so you know what? I'm gonna wait another turn. I'm gonna wait a turn. Oh, so I can't wait to kill the head of Mischief. I hate this head, which I don't think anybody truly likes the head of Mischief. Boom, dead. You're just doing like an unbelievable amount of damage. Now this is what I want to show you guys. Ready? What I'm gonna do, decrease down. Ouch, that was rude. Decrease down and look at this decapitated head right here. Again, keep in mind that I have not fully stacked. We're gonna go ahead and put continuous heals down. We're gonna auto attack, so now he has 3 continuous heals. Now watch this, guys. 3 million damage. 3 million damage on a decapitated head. Like, that is insane. I think even Ganute with his 3 hits does not do that much damage. I think the most that I've ever seen is like 600,000 every single hit. What is that? 6 is, that's 12. Well, oh my god, yeah, 12 and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, just like a little bit under 2 million or about 2 million. right? Like, actually, that's just nuts. And again, we're only at boss turn count 5. Like, we haven't even fully stacked out we haven't fully stacked everything out yet. We haven't even fully stacked everything out yet. And this is hard, guys. I've actually run this on brutal as well. And the team hits pretty hard. The team hits pretty hard. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end this here, guys, and I will show you the hard run that I did. And the great thing about this hard run that I'm going to show you is I just literally just hit quick battle and go. I did quick battle and go, and I think it got to turn like 900-ish and then lost. Meaning that if I ran this again, if I ran this battle again, I probably would have gotten to a thousand turns. And this is full auto. Like this, like if I hand did this team, I would probably do more than 200 million damage. I would assume. Like, so this champion, this guy, this lad, he hits like a truck, guys. He hits so hard. Let me know, guys, did you end up pulling him? What are your thoughts with this champion? Are you excited if you do have him? Are you excited that you pulled him? How do you guys have him built? Where do you put him in for your team? Where do you put him in? What is your favorite piece of content that you put this champion in, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys think that I need to do anything different for building him? Do you guys want me to try other things with this particular champion? Again, let me all know down in the comments. If you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and that is going to be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see everybody in the next one.